friend. We're back inside for our videos for the winter, but we have plenty of things to do also inside, so we don't get bored over the winter when the garden is sleeping outside. What we're going to do today is to separate the seeds we saved together just a few weeks ago, if you remember. So our zinnia, the marigold seed, the Ami seed. So I'll just show you how I separate them, and then some exciting news I'll share a little bit later in the video where you might get some of those seeds. So watch out for that. But let's start with the Ami seeds. I think that's where we have saved the most. You remember I just put them in those lunch bags, in those brown bags, and as you can hear, it's very dry and crispy. That's the perfect stage to save seeds. There are many ways you can do it. You can just keep them in the bag, especially when you have like crunchy seeds heads like this, to keep them in the bag and really go down on the bag and really trying to separate them off in the bag. That keeps the mess a little bit inside. So we'll do that quickly. And it's a little bit of a messy process to do inside, so you should have like a vacuumer or something else ready that helps over time. That's what the professionals call threshing. So you're threshing the seeds to really get the seed of the seed head. Ooh. Again, messy process. And then the magic happens that you get here a lot of seeds. I typically use in just white plate. You could use like a white sheet of paper. I love a plate because it's a little bit contained, so it's not running off. Between seeds, I typically clean this plate out, so I have no cross seed contamination here between those different seed packages. There's one process to get like the debris out of the real seeds, which the professionals do, which is called winnowing. And this is basically to have like airflow over the seeds, just strong enough to get that lighter weight debris, which is typically not the seed, like blown away, and keep the seeds inside. I won't do this inside because it's messy. So typically I just go about and save the seeds manually. I don't save many seeds, so that's really not that big of a deal for me. But yeah, I'll just move them around on the plate. And typically when I do those things, it's like I do that in the evening or so when I'm sitting in front of the TV, have like one brown bag of seeds and start to separate those. So the Ami seeds are really easy to separate because the seeds are so easy to see and to really crumble off. So there's no real difficulty in saving those ones. Let's discuss a little bit on what are good seed saving practices, right? You want to keep them in a cold and dark space, typically where they are dry. I always prefer some brown paper bag. This gives some airflow or limits the risk that seeds get like moldy or some sort of a fungal issue or whatever. You never know what's going on. I had always good success with like saving my seeds in some sort of a brown bag, or what I showed you last time, those small craft envelopes, which I love as well. Those teeny tiny envelopes, those are perfect. Let me get those ones out here. Those are perfect for saving seeds and sharing with friends. So I love those ones. And yeah, and then I just go through them one by one. But let's do the next one, which is a little bit more, not tricky, but a little bit more manual work to get them out. So let me move those ones in an envelope. To move them in an envelope, I just put them on a sheet of paper. sheet of paper. And off they go in an envelope. Those will still get a little bit more cleaned later on. That is just for demonstration purposes here. So Ami seeds, super, super easy to save. So let's move on with the marigold ones. They are one of those seeds which are super easy to save. If you have kids, they will love it. It's very simple. So you have seed heads like this. And those seed heads, they break up in the middle. And when you open them, you'll find that you have all those seeds inside. All of this is marigold seeds. So those are very, very easy to save. Yeah, I'll typically make sure I'll get this top off that can mold, but then those seeds are also perfectly fine and easy to clean. That goes away, this goes away. The rest are seeds and are going to be saved. So for the marigolds, it's also fast, right? You take the top off, you open the body, and all the seeds pop out already. It's like one of those seeds, when you have them once, you have them forever because they're just so easy to save and come back easily. They are a great companion plant. I love marigolds. Supposedly they're supposed to deter bunnies. Can't say that, can't confirm, at least not for my hungry bunnies over here this season, but they're still a pretty plant and are a good companion plant next to any type of vegetables, also to get pollinators in the garden. Yeah, and every time you save some seeds for like friends or so, make sure you give them enough seeds so they can try out a few. Like you should not save just or send them just like 1 or 2 seeds. Think of it, how many seeds would be necessary for you to be successful with a new plant you might have not grown before. So like, I don't know, like 10 seeds at a minimum. I would say 15 is a better number for me personally, if you want to be a generous friend. So just think of that, what would be a good number to save. Labeling, important. And put those ones in envelope too. And you see here, those were just 3 or 4 seed heads, and I'm not sure, I'm not counting those, but I would say 100 seeds. Next one is the Cosmos seeds. Cosmos are actually very, very similar to the marigold seeds. They come also in seed heads, but the seed heads are a little bit smaller and not as filled with seeds. So they have seed heads which look like this. And one thing which is always very, very helpful when you start seed saving is that you have an idea how the actual seed look like when you start to look for it. Because with the Cosmos seeds, it's very easy to take like the chaff for a seed, which is not, because they look very, very similar. But once you start looking for them, oh, there's actually no seed inside of here. They were already dispersed. But once you start like popping them open, you usually find some seeds. Cosmos is a little bit more work to clean because the weight of the seed is not that much different from the chaff around it. So this winnowing, if you just blow over it, a risk you lose a lot of seed, but it's still worth it. Cosmos is so beautiful and so easy to save as well. It just takes a little bit time to separate them. Oh, this was a good one. So really important to know how they look. This is going to make seed saving a lot easier. And then again, like, you just go through the chaff and see what you got. So this is what the seeds look like teeny tiny specks. Here, those ones. And this is what the debris looks like. Yeah, those are also not filled with seeds as much as the marigold ones, but it's still nice to save them. So next up is the zinnia seed, also a great plant to save seed from because it's super easy. I have here some seed heads over there. Let's see if we find something in it. I'll typically just scratch them or like rip them apart. And again, here it is also again very helpful to know how zinnia seeds look like to be able to find them. And sometimes, so what you want to see or what you want to find in seeds is that they are firm. So from the moment you pick up a seed and you can bend it, it's typically not mature enough to grow something. And they should be also dark, not light. Those are indications of mature seed versus immature seed. And I have here a couple examples of immature seeds, which I wouldn't share, versus seeds which are mature. Yeah, so let me show you this let me show you this example quickly. So here we have two seeds. This one is immature. This is quite light. You see there's only a little black spot on the bottom, and this one is fully black. So this is a mature seed. This is how you nicely can separate those ones from each other. Great. And then you just go around. I'm not sure like how many seeds you find. Typically a seed head. Sometimes you're lucky. This one might have been one where the birds went already to town with, so that I have a lot of, or they haven't been on the plant for long enough so that there are a lot of mature seeds in it. This one looks like rather immature seeds, unfortunately, but it happens. It takes some time to know when it's a good time for the seed head to take it off and dry. And then I typically, if I'm not sure, I'll just pick them up and see if I can bend it. If they're not, I usually keep them. And so far, it has always served me well. The seeds I've saved always grown into something. So these days I'm quite confident with what I'm saving over here. And let me just show you what I got out of a head. There is still a couple immature examples. Those are the ones I saved here, like 10 seeds or so, and that's the debris. So that is sometimes the ratio you have to live with, but it is what it is. Now I have one where I'm really excited about. This was the first time of me growing those, and I saved them in an organza bag to just ensure that they are properly dry. This was in sunflower seed head from Sunflower Steve's Van Gogh mix. This was a beautiful dark chocolatey one, which I really enjoyed. So I ended up saving seeds from that one. And I already broke it apart to just see how the seeds look like. And you can still see here portions of the seed head. And you just break them apart and out come those beautiful black seeds, which hopefully germinate. I might do a germination test on those ones just because I haven't saved sunflower seeds before. Just want to make sure when I share those seeds that I share successful seeds and not something what can't germinate. So I might do a germination test with you so you can see also how that works. But sunflower seed heads are quite easy to separate because the seeds are sitting on top. So that is one of those seed heads which are really easy to save. Sometimes you see seeds which have a hole in it. Those ones I won't share. But yeah, those otherwise look really great. And then I'll just take the debris off. So there is the debris. Here we have those seeds. And those look really great. All nice quality, super easy to separate from the dirt, and hopefully a nice and easy save. Yeah. The reason why I put this one in an organza bag, I had like portion of it starting to rot, so I cut that one out and saved the remaining one here in the organza bag to be able to really dry it out and get all the moisture out of it. And I think it was successful. Curious to see with how many seeds I will end up. I'm always bad at guessing those games, but I would say like, I don't know, 150, 200, we'll see. But I'm excited for those ones. Save the best for last for you, because this is a funny one. Those are milkweed seeds, but they are very, very fuzzy, and it's a really, really difficult thing to separate them from the seeds. But there is a trick which I want you to do only if you are an adult. Be aware of how to deal with fire and are aware of your surroundings. Otherwise, please do not do that. I don't want to set anybody here on fire, but this is how it works. You put them in a little bowl, and then you take, I see them already flying around here. And then you take just a little bit of fire. Woo! Did you see it? It really gets all of the, I'm getting complaints soon about what I'm doing here inside, but it gets all the fuzz of the seeds immediately, and the seeds don't get burned or anything. I've tried it before with straw flour because they are so fuzzy as well. Works the same way. Just make sure you have a bowl which is like safe to lie down, and you saw it went a little higher again. Be careful doing it. Do it outside. Do it in a fireplace. But the rest is very, very easy to separate, and you have nice and easy seeds which you can share, which have no fuss on it anymore. So I hope that was a cool magic trick at the end. So all of the seeds which we saw today in this video, which I'm going to clear in the next few weeks through a few evenings, step by step, are available for you to get a variety from. I always do that every year. It's now my 4th year, I think, or 3rd year of sharing the seeds after season. I have more than I can replant, so I love to use that as a little give back to my community and everybody who followed me along for the season. So in the description there is a sign up form for you where you can leave me your address and your handle in case I have any questions or so, I need to reach out to you. But it is really no strings attached. The information will be deleted afterwards. I'll just send you a nice little envelope with the seeds you picked. I do that until I have no seeds left. Typically it's like 150 envelopes I'll send out in a few weeks. This year I'm a little bit later than the past years because I'm so busy at work, but I'll plan to send them out between the holidays, so like after Christmas and between New Year's. That will be my fun little thing to do, so you have something nice to look forward to in the new year. If you have any questions regarding seed saving or anything else which you saw in the video, please let me, ask me the question in the comments. And then otherwise, subscribe and watch another video. Thank you.